Over the last few years, Duke has consistently been in the top 3 when it comes to recruiting classes, and leading Duke's 2020 recruiting class is 6'8" forward Jalen Johnson. He's projected to go as high as a top 5 pick in next year's draft, and he will most likely be the go-to guy for the Blue Devils this upcoming season. Jalen was one of the more versatile players that came out of the 2020 class. He's capable of impacting the game in a variety of ways. Jalen checks off on almost every box: athleticism, rebounding, defense, scoring ability, and the list goes on. But Duke has had a history of securing top wing prospects and then allowing them to create with the ball in their hands, such as Brandon Ingram, Jason Tatum, and RJ Barrett, just to name a few. And I believe Jalen has the potential to have the same, if not bigger, impact than those players that I just named. Those are lofty shoes to fill, but I believe Jalen is talented enough to exceed all expectations during his freshman year at Duke. But let's really analyze Jalen's game in this breakdown. Standing at 6'8" with a 6'11" wingspan, Jalen has the ideal tools that you want in a future NBA wing. He's a very explosive athlete that runs the floor well, and he can really play above the rim in open space. Jalen is essentially a highlight reel waiting to happen anytime he gets a full head of steam, especially in transition. His physical tools obviously give him a ton of upside as a defender as well. Jalen has the potential to guard multiple positions at the next level. He's not very quick laterally, and his overall motor on defense needs to improve, but Jalen has good instincts in the passing lanes, and he was a very effective shot blocker at the high school level. Jalen also proved to be a good rebounder, averaging at least 10 rebounds or more per game during his time on the EYBL circuit and also during his senior year at Nicolet. Given his size and athleticism, it's no surprise that he's effective on both ends of the floor, but Jalen is more than a freak athlete, capable of dominating the game offensively as well. Jalen has a ton of upside on the offensive end, with his major strength at the moment being dribble drive penetration. At his size, Jalen has great fluidity with the ball in his hands, attacking in transition. He doesn't have elite end-to-end speed, but his ball control in transition to go along with his size makes it difficult for defenders to slow him down. In the half-court set, Jalen is very comfortable slashing to the rim from the wings and in the high post area. He primarily attacks in straight-line drives going both left and right. He's explosive enough to get the first step by most wings, but he often uses his body to bully his way to the rim and score. I think once Jalen adds some dribble moves to his repertoire, then he'll become a real problem to contain off the dribble. But I like that Jalen does not necessarily need the ball in his hands to be effective. He does a good job moving without the ball, constantly flashing in the lane or cutting back door. Jalen also shows some promise scoring down low with his back to the basket. He has solid footwork on the block, and he has a nice soft touch finishing over his left or right shoulder. He still needs some development in this area of his game, but the potential is most definitely there. He also consistently shot over 50% from the field throughout his high school career, which shows that he's an efficient player that does not force the issue on offense. Jalen is clearly a versatile basketball player, but what really caught my attention is how great his court vision is. Jalen's high-flying dunks get most of the attention for obvious reasons, but Jalen was easily one of the best playmaking forwards that came out of the 2020 class. His basketball IQ is exceptional for such a young prospect, especially a prospect at his position. He has demonstrated his elite court vision and playmaking ability in almost every situation, out of the low block, in transition, in the half-court set, and when attacking off the dribble. Jalen also led his Phenom UAU team with 6 assists per game, which put him in the top 10 of assist leaders on the EYBL circuit. You could classify Jalen as a point forward, which I believe is a fair assessment. He's not as skilled with the ball in his hands as a Cade Cunningham or a Scotty Barnes, but his court vision is right up there with those players. His height also makes it easier for him to see over the defense, which is another huge advantage for Jalen. You just can't teach size, and you can't teach basketball IQ, and Jalen has both of these attributes, which is why he's such a sought-after prospect. Major area of improvement for Jalen has to be his shooting from 15 feet and beyond. Jalen has never been very good in this area, which is why he doesn't attempt too many jumpers per game. But if Jalen wants to maximize his potential as a player, he's going to have to become more efficient from the perimeter. Jalen shot a poor 20% from three-point range throughout the 2019 EYBL season, and he also shot below 65% from the free throw line as well. Since he struggles shooting from the perimeter, defenses tend to sag off of him and bait him to shoot. His shot mechanics aren't horrible. He actually gets really good elevation on a shot, and his release point is high, but his overall shooting motion is slow, and he almost always shoots the ball on the way down. Jalen is already an efficient scorer as it is, but a reliable jump shot will only make him more of a threat with the ball in his hands. Jalen could also work on valuing the basketball more, especially when trying to make a play off the dribble. He averaged a little over 3.5 turnovers per game on the EYBL circuit, mainly due to careless passes. Jalen is a terrific playmaker, but he will need to improve his decision making as he continues to develop. And lastly, I would like to see Jalen bring more effort as an on-ball and help side defender. He has moments throughout a game where he just seems disinterested in playing defense, whether it be not being in a defensive stance or bailing the other team out by constantly reaching in. Like I stated before, Jalen has the tools to be an elite defender, but he's going to have to find motivation to compete and not take plays off on defense. Well, here's my verdict. Jalen Johnson is a clear, low-risk, high-reward type of prospect, and I don't see him staying at Duke beyond his freshman year. He just impacts the game in so many areas that it's hard to imagine him not being a lock as a lottery pick next year. Jalen already has NBA size and athleticism to go along with his great feel for the game offensively. I think his success at the next level will be largely determined by how well he shoots the ball. If Jalen is able to develop a consistent jump shot, then that will really take his game to that next level. He can basically do everything else on the floor, but he will become an almost unguardable player if he can knock down open shots. I'm really excited to see how Jalen will improve in the years to come, and if he remains healthy, then we should see him in the NBA as soon as next year.